Hello listeners, we are back with a brand new episode of Robotics. We have a unique guest with us today, someone who's a Gujarati by birth and a techie at heart. He loves solving problems that require multidisciplinary innovation. And we all know, robotics is a field which requires a multidisciplinary approach. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Yatin Varacchia, the man who's inventing a robot to solve our cooking woes. Nosh, the robotic chef of the future. So Yatin, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, and really excited to be part of this podcast.
So Yatin, tell us something about your journey and how did you gravitate towards robotics?
When I grew up, I had a very high love for physics. I used to enjoy physics and how things work, right? So during my school days, early college days, physics was what I was more attracted to. And I wanted to do something with that knowledge, like having that physics knowledge. So, in fact, when I was in 8th class, one thing is like India should have maglev train. That was my dream. Why everywhere else it is exists and not in India.
So maglev train is the bullet train.
Yeah.
Which we are finally going to get.
Yeah. I used to read all through magazine. Like that time, no internet, right? We used to read through magazine and we were imagining. I used to stay very close where the railway line passed. And they're like, why our trains are like this and not like how it is in Japan. So I like the application of the sciences, and that's why I chose engineering. In fact, I come from South Gujrat where everyone takes pharmacy or chemical engineering because it's actually the manufacturing hub for chemicals. So, but I chose this part because I felt like I can use this knowledge and build something on top. So there was high level of engineering. When I joined college, I did a lot of projects like simple as metal detector, which is not like a big cage but very small and very effective. Then we built bunch of robots for the robo fights and robotic competition. Then I joined my master in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. This is the first time I came out of Gujrat, and actually it was a great exposure because you are studying where Kalam and Sarabhai and everyone has studied, and it actually pushed my interest to engineering very high. And then we had a department which was established by Swiss professors, like Swiss engineering. So when this department started, most of the professors were from Switzerland, and they were mostly into electromechanical stuff, like making very small watches, effective, high engineering. So I kind of realized how strong that is. And we got taught, like this is one program which was so multidisciplinary. It started with industrial design, a chip design, power supply design, you have problem solving. So I worked on a problem saying that 2010 where the tiger population was really on decline. And we made a camera trap, which is like for counting tigers. It's a motion trigger camera where it captures the photo of the wildlife. It is placed in the forest. But the key thing was it should last for about a month on the battery. So typical camera you can't last so long. And it does. If you make it very low power, it doesn't start very early. Like it takes time to start. So all those practical problems we solve, we deploy something in the forest, and then we got to know how well it is capturing the tigers.
So you were actually merging hardware and software.
Yeah. So embedded software and the hardware is like the forte I like to play. That is something I enjoy because you can solve the problem only through that. Like majorly the problem you can solve if you know hardware and embedded software. That lot of problem you can solve with that. So that's where we were working at.
So how did this cooking robot happen?
Yeah, we both, me and my wife, both were working, and we are Guju who are settled in Bangalore. So we were not getting the food that we want.
Like so you both were sucked in by the Bangalore charm.
Yeah, Bangalore is really good. We enjoy here. But the food is always problem because you get a cook, you train them. The moment you train them, they leave. So, and most of cook doesn't get trained. Like, and we need bit of sugar in our dishes. In fact, if you don't enjoy sugar-based dishes, you either put more or less, right? So that's why we couldn't get the taste that we wanted, and that's where I started like being from technical background. can I solve this problem, right? This is a big problem, and almost everyone who migrated to a new city faced that. So I talked to a lot of my friends who are living either in Bangalore or in US, and everyone had that complaint, right, saying that cook का खाना पसंद नहीं है, but क्या करे? What is the alternative? So I felt that there is a strong problem to solve if we can solve it. So I started working on part-time basis, and we were also looking at what food problem to solve. So shall we make roti, shall we make sabji, dal, or what? So there our thought process, like there should be something where creators can build on it. So it should not be one of the solution, but it is a solution on which people can create their own stuff. Like that will give more edge, it will give, it can create a moat in a business term, like saying that you have so many recipes, so many creators, no one can build that kind of thing. So that thought process, we chose this, and what we felt is like this is a taste problem we are solving. So the taste defining thing, this is, which is your sabji and dal, is what we should solve for, and that's where we started Nosh.
So you say that you are solving for the taste, and we all know that, see, cooking is a fine art which requires a fine mix of culinary skills. And I think all our mothers were the masters of this art, right? So how would a robot solve this problem? How is your robot, or how is Nosh solving or mastering this art?
So actually there is a saying, what you don't understand, you call it art. So cooking is art, but at the same time, it is
so
actually...
I don't know how to cook. That's why I call it an art.
Yes, but it is actually a science, right? It is actually chemistry. When you cook food, the chemical reacts, the enzyme break the protein bonds and create something amazing. So it is a science because it's very hard to understand it 100%. So in fact, if you see the cooking process, typically it is you can heat and you can add right ingredient at right time. Like that kind of summarize it.
You summarized it very simply.
Very simply. Now the key thing is the judgment, and judgment is about what thing has to go when, which ingredient can go together and not to go together. Then actually lot of food science come chemistry behind it. So majority of cooking, if you see, it's about playing with moisture, which is you remove the moisture from some ingredient and then let the taste go into the oil, like that oil dissolve all the taste particle of it, and then you coat it to some other ingredient which is nutrition rich, like paneer or something like that. So that is briefly how the process works. How we have done it, so we have a heating, mixing and adding ingredients. Ingredients could be three types. It could be liquid, it could be solid, and it could be condiment. Now condiment or spices actually define the taste of the dish, basically in Indian context. So we have a separate spice dispenser, and this has to be very precise. So we took a lot of iteration to get it right. It dispenses the spices precisely, and it works across all the spices. That is the beauty of it. Then we have a ingredient dispenser. Based on the recipe, you load the ingredient and then ingredient get dispensed.
So this ingredient would be chopped onion, chopped potato, chopped tomato, whatever
it
we
could
would
be
require.
It could be meat, it could be fish, it could be anything, right?
Okay.
So it get dispensed as per the recipe, as per the time, and then there's a stirring. So when human do it, we feel like, okay, it is just stirring. But stirring is an art, because different type of food, different type of consistency require different type of stirring. And to get it right through robotics, like one mechanism that can do stirring for all kind is actually very challenging. We also realize after a lot of iteration. So you have industrial robot which kind of mixes, like you will find the robot in Gurudwara which mixes it. But it is good, it is designed for one kind of food. Here we are talking about wide variety of range of dishes. That
hundreds of dishes.
Hundreds of dishes it is created. So those are the key hardware part that come into picture to cook it. Second part is actually judgment, and judgments are very, very hard. So we have camera, temperature array, which look at the pan in a different ways and then make a judgment. It can make judgment like your onion is translucent or golden brown, your curry is cooked properly. Let's say you are cooking tomato, so tomato has caramelized properly or not, and then
So it takes images at fixed intervals.
yeah, it takes images at fixed interval and temperature. So you can cook at fixed temperature, you can cook at fixed heat. And so in the robot, why we feel cooking is art? Because we don't know all the science behind it. So when we have a science, right, when our mother will say that put it on a steam and then stir continuously. So what she's doing is like constant temperature cooking. So once you understand the basic science behind it, it's actually quite beautiful.
So how does the robot determine how much stirring it has to do and at what temperature it has to go?
So actually that relies on creator.
Okay, the recipe.
So how the hardware and software or how the product is built it, on this product there is a recipe to be written. So it follows the recipe command. Assume this is like a Android or Apple iOS. So it has iOS has a Apple hardware plus the operating system, and on top someone can build app. These are almost like that. So you have a hardware, you have a, let's say, Culinary OS, and then people can create a recipe. So it follows the recipe and cook it, and it gives the nicer control to the creator, saying that you can cook at constant temperature, you can cook at constant heat.
So it will give a certain set of options to choose from, and you can create your own recipe.
Yes.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So when you were building this robot, what was the major challenges that you felt you were trying to solve for the food industry?
So in fact, when we started, there was no reference. There is no one has built a cooking robot like this. And we had no reference. So we faced a lot of problems firsthand. I think the first problem we struggle with is spice dispensing. It requires accuracy, and all spices behave so differently. So some spices, let's say cumin, mustard, or little small seed, get stuck in the mechanism. Anything you make mechanism. And then the separate kind, like say turmeric, right? So turmeric doesn't flow because it has very high van der Waals. It doesn't flow, like you need to push it. So having a one mechanism that combine all type of spices was a big challenge we faced. Obviously stirring also similar way, like having one stirrer which can solve other problem. After our first prototype is built, we had all these problems solved. Then our second level problem started, which is about longevity and reliability. So we realized that oil, let's say oil is pumped, and then oil over time polymerizes in the pump. So the pump performance changes over time, and you can't have that. So you need to have a solution which will make sure that it doesn't happen, and you need the right pump that makes sure that doesn't happen. Also, so in food, when a hardware go through a food, so food is acid, basis, and salt all together. And then there's another layer which is coming as detergent. So detergent is actually designed to remove stuff. And if you make a material, if food is touching something, make sure that detergent doesn't remove it. So that is very complex because the life is compromised when detergent is used. So these are some of the problems. And then oil is another very funny part, because so we have this reference like FDA 21 CFR. So any food grade part you build, you follow this FDA 21 CFR standard. And we realized some of the material in FDA 21 CFR which are listed still react with oil. Like it kind of react and create a different chemical altogether. Okay. So we went through a lot of learning around the oil to get oil working. Like oil feel very basic, very humble, but getting the oil working, especially our favorite mustard oil working, is
which is what a lot of Indians use.
Is a real challenge. Yeah.
True. So since we are talking about tastes, it is said that the Indian taste and Indian cuisines change in every 100 kilometer. So how would these cooking robots customize to the needs of Indian audience?
Yeah, so in fact, I would say the taste changes from house to house. Like you go to your neighbor house, taste is different. So how we are dealing with it? So actually, as a company, it's good that it is diverse so that we can create more recipe, more creator, and larger mode. That's how we look at it. Also, you have customization, because it's not that you buy a machine and you have a recipe as per your taste. So you can customize oil level, spice level, and salt level. So that is a basic customization that is given. So anytime you can customize this.
And all of this would happen through the interface,
through the app,
software, through the app.
Yeah.
So you only need to write.
Yeah. So mobile app, you just select, like there is a level of it. You want low, high, medium.
Okay.
type.
So from a fixed selected options.
Yeah, fixed selected option, you can choose it and it will do that. This now is available recipe wise also. So recipe wise also you can customize your consistency, your spice, salt, oil, fat level. Oil basically fat level. You can and doneness. So those all customization you can do recipe wise here. So that will address the house to house variation. And 200 kilometer range, obviously it will be solved through lot of recipes, which
So
is
you will
like
create an
UAT
ecosystem of recipes,
recipe
upload it
creator.
somewhere.
Yeah. So that's how it will get solved. Eventually, but our current thing is most of urban Indians are trained to eat someone else's food. It's just that it has to be good food. Like, so we travel, we have seen multiple cuisine. So we are not stuck to one food. We understand the broadness of it, and we actually enjoy that more or less. We enjoy the multi cuisine. We enjoy different kind of food, different kind of culture. So right now we are building our own recipe base, which will be around launch. It will be around 200 recipes, which are solid recipe which you will enjoy as a urban Indian, and then we'll go into creator mode, where they will create more and more recipes.
Yeah, very true. A typical Indian breakfast could either be a dosa, an idli, a vada pav, misal pav, or an aloo paratha, or a poha, and all of this belong to different regions.
Yeah, and it's broadly like you are in Delhi or Bangalore, it is
The same. The breakfast palette broadly remains the same. Very true. So can we visualize Nosh or the robot chef taking over restaurants in the near future?
So, Nosh is not made for restaurant, but actually there are bunch of robots that are coming for restaurant. In fact, we also almost 2 years we have spent on B2B space, understanding how we can automate cloud kitchens, etc. So, it's very true. It's going to come. So, most of the branded restaurants right now having a cold chain process.
So what do you mean by a cold chain process?
Cold chain process is like food is made in a factory.
Okay.
And then packed and delivered to the outlet.
Okay.
Outlet does assembly and reheating and deliver the food. So typical
even
McDonald's.
Even McDonald's, you are assembling the food, just
Yeah.
like a car assembly.
Yeah.
And even cloud kitchens are following this.
Cloud
Okay.
kitchen also does that.
Okay.
So now in B2B space, right now the big opportunity is food assembly robots. Because assembly process also changes. So you are doing burger, you are doing pizza, you are doing chicken, you are doing a pot-based meal, tacos. The assembly process is different. So you can have different type of robot. I feel that there is a huge opportunity there in the Western world, because like people eat out so high. They mostly eat out, and then that's where I think restaurant is like 20-30% of their GDP.
Yeah,
right?
the food away from home category is big there.
Yeah, right. So that is where I think opportunity lies. We were doing this in COVID time. We didn't explore the overseas market, but there is a big opportunity there. I see that next 5 years there will be lot of automation. Like most of the outlet will be run by 1% or 2%.
And then there will be robots to assist them. So, but Nosh will not be that kind of robot. It's a different kind of an automation and robot. So how does Nosh look like?
So Nosh looks like a oven. It's like a
size of a microwave oven?
It's a microwave oven size device, where you can pipe stage inside the device. Water and oil also, it has a built-in storage. And you load the ingredient tray, where you have put all the chopped ingredient as per the app actually shows that how you have to place it. You load it, command it to cook, and just step out. You can go to gym, you can do yoga, you can watch TV, or you can spend time with your kids. So
You can Netflix and chill and the food will be made.
yeah, so you don't have to worry about how it is made. So and it's a humble looking, but very technically advanced. We have made it humble looking because we Indians like humble things.
And it has to be in the kitchen. It should.
Yeah.
So it should look attractive. So will Nosh solve our maid troubles?
Definitely, right? In fact, this invention came from my own struggle with cooks, right? Like I can't find a cook who can cook as per my taste and doesn't stay. So I train him, he go away, and then I will get another one. So that's how it is going to solve. It will require little bit effort from your side, but your taste problem will get solved.
And
So
you will get warm home cooked
warm,
food.
fresh. You don't have to like cook in sometime in morning 5 a.m. 6 a.m. and then consume in the night. This is
So
something you
even if a
whenever
maid comes, he or she will cook at a certain time and then you will eat it at a later point of the day.
and time alignment is a big
Yeah.
problem. Typical people like they have to eat early they have to wake up early morning just to open the door for the maid.
So I can buy a Nosh and my mother's worry that I eat outside will probably be solved.
Yeah.
Because I'll get good food.
In fact, like we have been doing trials. There are people whose online ordering became zero when NOS was at their place.
Oh.
They used to spend 20,000 rupees per month on online ordering. When NOS went in, they didn't order. They just consumed from NOS.
Yeah. They were probably ordering a lot of grocery then.
Yeah, so we have a meal kit option. So you get a chop ingredients as well from us. So they were consuming that.
Okay.
Which is also a business for us, like
Yeah.
consumables.
Okay. So consumable in terms of the chop ingredients is also a sort of a business line for you.
We are exploring that. Shall we do it? Shall we find a partner? What is the right way to do it? But for the trial,
You could also have a robot which could chop all those ingredients too.
yeah, in fact, chopping. So let's say I said I want onion chopping machine. There are hundreds of them. As I said, in food industry, automation have existed. It is about one thing and not about the everything. So there are a lot of.
So they are special purpose machines.
Yeah, there are a lot of special purpose machines. Which
So after listening to all this, I've become very hungry, by the way. So we'll probably have something cooked from Nosh post this. So can we visualize our robot chef Nosh competing in MasterChef Australia? Because I think a lot of us watch MasterChef Australia.
Yeah, definitely, and it will have very high advantage over humans.
An
I'd say
unfair
why?
advantage.
Unfair advantage over humans because see right now with ChatGPT and lot of data being available, we have so many recipes on internet, and this robot can learn from all those recipes.
Okay.
Which human can even not comprehend so much knowledge. Once they learn it, then they can make anything. So that way it has very high unfair advantage over human, I would say, on the recipe creation. We'll reach there. Someday it will be better than humans.
For sure. And probably there will be more. And since with the recipe ecosystem, there will be a magic that will come out from human and robot collaboration.
So I would say in the robotics, next 10 years is a collaboration period almost on everything. Even we talk about ChatGPT or anything, it requires a lot of input from us to get something done nicely. So these 10 years are going to be that period. And then slowly we will get freedom from this kind of chore completely. So that's what I feel.
So we will move towards AGI from AI. Yeah. So which dish cooked by Nosh, your robot chef, is your favorite?
Gajar halwa.
Oh, wow.
There is a story behind it. So when the NOS first alpha prototype got ready, it was this time, somewhere around January, and then we had a chef who made this carrot halwa.
And which is the favorite recipe of Nosh that Nosh has cooked?
That's like NOS is not that judgmental yet, thanks to us.
Okay. So the job of being judgmental is still delegated to humans.
Yes. So right now it does what we say. It doesn't judge.
Okay. So all the recipes are its favorite. Yeah. Great. So thank you for coming on our show and sharing your experiences with our listener. It was really delightful to know your experience and know the capabilities of Nosh the robot chef.
Thank you for having me. And then I really like what you are doing, creating this ecosystem of robotic enthusiasts, and we all coming together. Like there is no other platform where all robotics founder companies can come together. So thanks a lot for having this initiative.
Thank you. So, listeners,